Where we last left our heroes, after a tribulating trial, facing off against a pod of invading mind flayers. Is pod the right word? Pod feels like the right word. And returning the protective sigil stone to the pixies, along with their new companions, Plumboy, the new pixie chief, and Kimberton Wumperstump, a red cap with a bit of a brain injury who happened to be completely free of the mind flayer's control. They realize that the sigil stone is in a state that's required a bit more nuance and a bit more arcane knowledge to resolve. The pixies threw them a delicious feast where they were rewarded, Nara being granted the pixie stick, a stick of flying, and seeking to assist the pixies in their with their sigil stone issue. Decided to follow the pamphlet of the Wandering Weasel out into the woods, where they discovered Tom had set up shop, serving up the Fey folk that happened to wander in from the overgrowth, maybe out of the Feywild itself, to have a night of intoxication and enjoyment. There they learned that Tom had some form of contact with these creatures that they had run into in the cave, the mind flayers. And Nara got incredibly drunk, passed out, and was carried upstairs to rest. It wasn't long before the party felt a chill in the air as the Archfey of Winter burst in to the Wandering Weasel. They now stand in the presence of the Queen of Winter.
How cold it is in the room, Nick.
Did you have a drink in front of you?
Yeah, I want to believe I did.
It is not. It is basically frozen over.
Asmo's cold-blooded. Oh no! Falls over. Oh no!
Asmo feels very, very sleepy.
Asmo starts reaching for a blanket. Blanket. I need a.
And even Denier, who is abreast in his bomber jacket, the cold is so cutting, it is piercing through even the thickest of fabrics right now, almost as if it is ignoring physical matter and is just radiating. It is almost a cold radiation that is just sinking through all of these materials. "Welcome to the Wandering Weasel," says Tom as this icy, almost bird-like woman stands in a room which is now darkened due to the cold extinguishing nearly all of the flame lights in the room. Her pointedly beady eyes scan the room and lock on Tom. Her facial features very sharp, prominent. Her nose almost beak-like. She has this crown of ice and frost atop her platinum blonde head. Her robes also seem to be divined of that of snow and frost that elegantly hug her very lithe and sharp, bony body. "Vasundi filiente pati, finscus fart in narvu," she says as she wanders in towards Tom. We've already established that none of you speak Sylvan, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct.
So yeah, none of that makes any sense to any of you. She seems to be ignoring you guys for the most part. But as she's walking in, Wolfgang, in an effort to, kind of mitigate some of this cold, you're feeling it a bit less than everybody else, as your blood is kind of radiating this heat. Her eyes do kind of glance across you. Thumfrathin. Skins fust nalf party. Skins faust in fort nifath. As she speaks to Tom, who's just kind of like smiling and nodding. He replies...
Can I incite him?
Go for it.
I'm trying to gauge if he is getting any of this.
Go for it. Give me an insight.
11? That was a roller coaster.
He doesn't seem to be hiding anything, like attempting to hide anything from his demeanor. Tom is a very worldly person, even otherworldly in many ways, and seems to be comprehending everything she's saying. As he actually replies back in the same tongue. Just kind of like, just kind of beckons her. And he kind of like gestures towards the back curtain. She glances at the four of you again and nods and begins traveling upstairs behind the curtain behind him.
When she looks at the... I'm sorry, go ahead, Daka.
No, just I was trying to talk like, who the fuck was that? Just chattering too much.
When she looks at Denier immediately stands and gives a very, very low, very respectful bow.
Her very prominent eyebrows arch slightly. Vinsnir fensnas funskanst. Diskikans fansto. Shipansti. She smirks and continues traveling upward.
Was she talking to Denier?
She was glancing at Denier and speaking, and then looked over to but looked as though she was speaking to Tom that whole time.
Okay.
As she travels upstairs, Nara, you begin to like shiver as you're like trying to stay in your bed. I want you to make a Constitution check for me.
Okay. Constitution check?
Yeah, check, not save.
Okay. 16.
The cold actually awakens you and even seems to sober you a little.
Oh no, okay.
As you hear this kind of like crackling, as you look down and around, any liquids in the room have frozen over, and this frost seems to be this layer of frost seems to be covering the floorboards of your room, ebbing from the outside. Meanwhile, downstairs, Tom looks towards the lot of you. I should probably take this. If anything happens, bye. And he starts like walking around the corner.
Asmo
What do you
tries to
mean
grimace
by-
with his frozen face. Ah!
Wolfgang just wipes the frost from his beard. What do you mean, but... Oh.
He just kind of like starts wandering away. He like snaps his fingers twice, and the invisible servants who also kind of have this like layer of frost kind of gathering around them, as they are typically unaffected by most outside forces. They aren't like shivering or anything, but you can see this like kind of frost gathering around where their flesh would be. It begins to kind of like dissipate as Tom walks away with this grand archfey of winter, and you hear footsteps going up the stairs, and out of nowhere the cold disappears.
All right.
What do we do? Asmo just looks like, what?
I think Tom is handling it.
The patrons that were all around you, the satyr, the elves that seem to represent different seasons, who when the lady came in, all started to shift to this like wintry shade. All start to kind of like revert back to their individual seasons. they're all talking amongst themselves right now, kind of in hushed, almost semi-panicked tones.
Above game, I know what those are. Would Wolfgang know what those are?
You can give me a nature check.
Here we go. My best stat. 7.
You've heard rumors about creatures of the overgrowth and its inhabitants, some of whom get so invested in the land that they are, that they kind of become one with like a season, or like so attached that they like just kind of become almost part plant in some way, typically elves, as it takes quite a long time and a lot of ingrained magic to have this effect take over you, but you've never seen one of these, and you're just kind of like guessing that that's what they are. You don't know what they're called in game, so they're just strange nature elves to you.
Mm-hmm.
Strange nature elves. You say he has it, but I can't help but feel weird. Shouldn't we help, or what?
What could we do? Just
That's what
be near her. Hurt us.
Well, I, for one, am gonna take out my winter jacket in case she comes downstairs again.
It doesn't work. Denier motions to the jacket that he was wearing. It did nothing.
The
Denier
goggles, they do nothing.
Denier actually walked over towards the satyrs. I don't suppose that any of you understood what she was saying. I haven't learned Sylvan yet.
They note your tongue, like they note the language that you're speaking, as they actually are speaking in Sylvan. Look over to you. Oi! Ah. Speaks the common tongue, this one does.
Yeah. I haven't, unfortunately, haven't gotten around to learning Sylvan yet. I don't suppose that you could translate. She looked at me and it concerns me a little bit.
Let me give them a roll real quick. There are 2 satyrs here. They, Alright, first one's not doing so hot. He was kind of like panicking as soon as the lady came in. The second one, much better. He was able to focus a bit. Hi. She, took a specific notice to your friend over there, the Sunblood, I believe she called him. As for you, said you had, well, a bit of, gravitas to speak to her, or, to stand before her so formally. Said she found it cute, but foolish.
Denier nods. What is gravitas?
Kind of like points down to his crotch. Balls! You got the balls, you got big balls.
Denier nods a couple times. In where I come from, it's always important to show respect for those that are of higher station than you.
Well, you're not going to find much around here with higher station, I'll tell you that much.
No kidding.
The other one just kind of nudges him. Yo, well, fuck that. What are we supposed to do now? We can't just go out there now. Aye. They notice you, like, looking on inquisitively. It's not so much what she represents. Yeah, it's gonna be fucking cold out there, but it's the things that follow her that are less lovely.
How so?
Oh, there's the biting cold for one. Getting out there, you're gonna be surrounded by frost and snow and all types of unpleasantries. Really freeze your gravitas off, you know what I'm saying?
Dinir nods a couple times.
Beyond that are the creatures that live in the damn things. Things that you don't find much normal out there in the woods.
I'm guessing that wherever she goes, her territory goes with her. Yes?
That seems to be the place of it. Normally she stays way the fuck up north. Not sure what brought her all the way down here.
Probably the old man.
The other one nods, or the other one motions. Wait, she said it was her fucking daughter.
What? Oh man.
Daughter.
Yeah, the other one just like replies, I wasn't really paying attention. I was just trying to stay out of fucking eye contact. Eh. Said she felt powerful presence, thought it might be her daughter. Turns out it was this place.
Makes sense. Dinir nods a couple times. Has her something going on with her daughter, or has her daughter gone missing?
They just kind of look at each other. We tend not to involve ourselves in the dealings of the powerful. We just came in here because mate of ours told us about this thing called a pint, and now it's frozen. He holds like the pint upside down. Ain't nothing coming out of that now.
Dinir gives a little bit of a smile and shakes a single finger. Let me take a guess. Chimby.
Hey, he knows the Chim Man.
Yeah. We're friends of Chimby. How far is is your village away from here?
Our village from here? Pretty long trek, really. Not horrifically far, but far enough. We're just out exploring, seeing if we can find any wayward explorers that have lost their way, if you know what I'm saying. They always have such fun shit.
Interesting. Well, I hope you find some.
Us too. Well, now we're gonna have to wait out this bleeding storm. Fuck.
If you see him before I do, give Chimby my regards.
Will do.
And Dinir heads back to the bar, and he sits specifically in the seat directly next to Lush's seat. He does not sit in Lush's seat.
Mm-hmm. Nara, with everything that just went on, give me a perception check.
Okay. Perception. 16.
Before the cold disappears, you hear that crackling sound of kind of like crunching on very thin ice. Like feet crushing ice. You hear a door not too far away from yours open. You hear the hushed tones of two people speaking a language that you can't quite understand. One is a very prickly female voice. The other one is just the voice of Tom. And you hear the door close, and the cold disappears.
Huh. Wonder what that was about. She's gonna get up and kind of rub her face and wake up a little bit. Go out the door. And, could she hear anything in the hallway?
As you walk to the door, after the small conversation and the door closing, you haven't really heard much of anything except for kind of hushed tones beginning to murmur back downstairs after that door closed.
Okay. She's gonna saunter back on downstairs then.
You're still a little tipsy, a little wobbly, but
Oh, actually,
you're awake now.
if I'm still a little out of it, she's gonna head for that hot tub thing.
Yeah, that should be pretty easy to get to. You recall generally where it was. You wander down the stairs, just kind of like using your arm as a guide. It feels like you're walking on a rocking ship.
Oh god, okay, yeah. Definitely heading for the hot tub thing.
Yeah,
And the minute she gets there, she's gonna like T-pose and fall in face first.
Oh, this is about to get very fun.
You splash into the water, which is still warming back up. Like, as you fall in, it's kind of like this tepid lukewarm, which to your skin feels cold, but it begins to heat up pretty quickly upon you getting into
as
it.
she's falling in and she was expecting like hot water, bubbles are like trailing out as she goes, "Wah."
You feel the properties of the water, like, begin to soothe you. You get really, really drunk, and then it starts to disappear on you. Like, you feel as you did moments before, and then the effects begin to disappear. Slowly but surely.
She'll alligator up just to the nose and blub out, "I'll take it."
Yeah, various aches and pains throughout your body begin to recede. Resting in the tub basically grants you, if you had any missing HP, you are replenished.
Yay!
Cool. And whenever that's done and she feels like she's at peak, she's gonna get out, dry off, like shaking like a dog, and then go back downstairs.
Yeah,
But with the blanket wrapped, because it's still kind of cold.
Yeah, you get out and you feel as though you had like literally just eaten that meal at the Pixie Village.
Oh, yeah.
Nara steps out into the bar, completely stark sober, in a robe, I guess, like a nice fluffy robe.
Oh no, she took the entire comforter off the bed.
Oh, okay. She's
a
burrito.
I'm burritoing.
Burrito Nara hops over to the bar.
Maximum comfort achieved. Full tummy, no aches, no pains, not drunk, big blanket.
You are in cozy mode.
That's the dream right there.
Oh man,
It really is.
Living full Lebowski.
Yep.
All right, the Narito approaches the bar.
Welcome
This would probably be about the time that Denier has sat back down as well, just a little after that.
She like kind of, because she's in the burrito, like waddle walks to one of the bar stools at the bar and sits on it and like swivels and like does that little like smile.
Very proud of herself.
Yep.
You seem awful pleased.
I am warm and full, and I have a blanket. It was very cold for no reason.
Well, there actually was a reason.
And that reason would be...
Right, you were upstairs in Dreaming Land. So the Winter Queen showed up.
What's that?
Remember those areas that we were told to avoid if they got cold all of a sudden?
No.
Looking just stares at her.
Well, we were.
That seemed like something that you guys should worry about, so I figured I'd let you worry about it. I'm just kind of along for the ride, you know?
Hey, remember when it got suddenly really cold and it woke you up and it sobered you up?
Yes.
Yeah, she calls that.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Just by being around. You know.
Her hands come out of the burrito to steeple her fingers.
Interesting.
Speaking of, she's interested in you, by the way, Wolfgang.
Oh, great.
She called you a sunblood.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna get married?
No. I refuse.
Later.
She apparently also thinks I'm cute and that I have giant balls because I stood in front of her.
That's, well, I mean, can't speak to the balls, but I mean, who doesn't
In
like a cat?
what manner
No.
did you stand in front of her that she would get this appreciation?
I bowed respectfully to her, and apparently the satyrs said that acting the way that I did is a ballsy move, especially for her, and she thought it was cute that I would be.
If I've learned one thing about Fey royalty, other than, I suppose, Plum Boy, is that it's best not to get involved in any way.
Are you sure that is the case? I feel as though all of you have a penchant, that is a big word that I read recently, for finding the things not to get involved in and then getting involved in them immediately after.
Sometimes they find us, to be fair.
Penchant.
Doesn't mean it's a good idea.
Mm-mm. Listen, we've never broken the rules in Tom's place before, but... Wait, what are the rules?
Well, Wolfgang thinks back to getting manhandled by Lush all those years ago.
You actually hear from behind you a familiar, kind of like husky female voice. Rule 1, no fighting.
Asma turns, hey, Lush, how's it going?
You summoned her.
You see her standing in the doorway, and right behind her, big bag and all, is Pip. He immediately looks over, notices you guys there. His eyes light up for a moment, and then kind of dim as he looks down.
Pip!
Pip waves.
Asma gets out of his seat and walks towards Pip. He motions to ask Lush to move out of the way.
Lush holds the door as Pip walks in, and then closes. Pip kind of gets in front of her. He's doing this little kind of shuffle as he walks in, this slightly dejected, scuffing his feet kind of shuffle.
Asmo goes for just hold out his arms to go for an embrace, a hug. Essentially, wants to know if does Pip look willing for a hug?
Pip, give me an insight check with advantage. You know Pip.
Oh my god! I actually canceled out a roll 20. I am sorry. I will be right back.
Womp womp.
You clicked the wrong. Oh my god! I clicked the wrong button. Son of a bitch.
Don't worry, it happens to me all the time. I have a dedicated previous page button on my mouse, and I hit it every once in a while.
I accidentally muted a tab, and I had no idea how I did that, and I never knew what I did. So I was like, "Why is this tab silent? What is this missed?" And literally lost my mind. Anyways, all right. You said it was an insight, right, Nick?
Insight with advantage.
Insight with advantage. Ah, thank you.
Because you've been around Pip a lot, and of everybody, you're probably one of the people that can read him better.
It's a natural 1 there, Nick.
With advantage is a 17, though.
That's true. Thank you so much for that, natural. Thank you so much for that. 17. All right.
You
can tell, for a hug.
You can tell he's happy to see you, but there's this you did just kind of up and leave him behind in something that was very important to him.
Asmo embraces him though. Gives him a hug.
Yeah, you wrap your arms around him, and Pip very very gingerly kind of raises his arms and kind of hugs you back.
And Asmo says,
I'm sorry we didn't take you with us. It's one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make.
As you pull back away, he looks at you with those big wide eyes and that.
Asmo looks at him.
and that.
Asmo gets down on a knee to look him dead in the... How tall is Pip again? I'm trying to remember how tall he is.
I mean, he's a growing adolescent boy. He is approximately 5'5" at the moment,
Okay.
but growing. Like when you first met him, he was like 5'3".
Pip, Asmo puts both hands on his shoulders and looks him dead in the eyes.
Can't just fucking dead.
He kind of closes his mouth and gives you this very sincere look, like locked in your eyes. And he, like, you can see this kind of like tear sort of like welling on his eyes.
If it makes you feel any better, his rage, his anger, that's what killed him. He killed himself against this shield here.
And Asmo pulls out Chimera and changes it into the shield.
If you were
Pip-
there with us,
Pip
couldn't
raises like 2 fingers and kind of like holds it up to the side of your temple. He's casting something.
Oh, fuck.
Do
I'm gonna
you
let him.
shoot? Okay.
I'm letting him.
All right,
Let him do it.
you choose to forego your wisdom save as he reads your mind and sees everything that happens through your eyes.
It's just Asmo running down that path like, oh, fuck, he's so strong! Shit! Oh, I'm coming for you!
I'm done. Why won't he die?
Why did he do so much damage? Where is everybody? Is that a pregnant vampire? Ah!
He witnesses everything, like including like all of your emotions going on at the time, the panic as you are just holding like a wall at the end against his onslaught.
He's just pounding into the shield over and over and over.
And he... For a moment, at the inside, at the end of this, at the end of all of that, you're left in this gray space. Just like everything around you guys seems to fade away. As you stand before
All of us?
Pip. No. Asmo and Pip specifically.
Okay.
Pip opens his eyes, and his normal beady black pupils are kind of like glowing this kind of like this shimmering silver. His hair kind of wafting in this ethereal breeze around you.
oh shit, he's the chosen one.
He basically right now you guys are psychically linked.
Oh. Am I hearing his voice in my head?
You are feeling what he is like. Basically, you have this like empathic link. You don't so much hear his voice as you hear his will. This will that all around you feels... He feels inept, weak, useless, worthless, but you feel this very strong desire to become powerful, to become strong, like you.
Why would he want to be like that prick?
You get this overwhelming sensation that you are this boy's hero. You are his idol.
And I know he's saying, I know he feels this.
You have this empathic link between you right now.
Pip.
And this is the feeling in the very depths of his heart.
Pip, know that I'm just a person. I've robbed people.
As
I've
you
done
think
bad-
as you think this, all of the misdeeds that you describe, you remember them so vividly
One of
that
them
they are etched into. They are spoken back to him in this same feeling.
Everything changed when I bit off more than I can chew. Now, it ended up good for me in the long haul. But if you came with us, you wouldn't be able to. I don't know if you'd still be here. And here's the thing, Pip. One day, you'll be able to be the person you needed. right now. And be that person when you can. And remember, the person who hurt you is gone. He's gone. The person who hurt me isn't.
And then Asmo thinks back to what Deus did.
Every feeling that you have had regarding your, I guess brother, etches into like you are literally passing feelings back and forth right now with Pip.
Everything has led me to him. And what he did will never go unforgiven. Now I have sacrificed a lot of my life to go towards him. And the last thing I wanted you to do was sacrifice what little of yours you might have had left to go after that guy. Kench is gone, but not all the Kenches. And I don't even mean their name, I mean people like Kench. And when you're older, there will be more like him. Kick their asses and make an example of them.
Asmo smiles with his toothy grin, with the golden teeth.
For the first time, Pip smiles back. As the plane around you begins to shift, his eyes stop shimmering, and you're just kind of staring into the face of this boy with the closed-lipped smile. And he hugs you tightly.
All right, let's go get me and you a drink. I don't think you're allowed to drink yet, right? That was really vague. Perfect. Come on, don't worry. Don't worry. Denier will hook you up. He wants to be cool.
Meanwhile, while that was going on between Asmo and Pip, Lush has been kind of like walking around the room, taking gauge of the patronage. Walks around looking for any damage to the bar. This is what happens when I'm not around, huh? Where are we? Overgrowth? She sits down next to you, Denier.
Yep. Overgrowth.
Hmm.
Good to see you back.
Good to be back. I couldn't let the boy out there on his own.
I don't blame you. I'd have probably done the same thing if I were you.
She looks over to the Narito. That one of our blankets?
Yes.
Make sure it gets back where it needs to be. She says as she motions, as she just reaches down back behind the bar and pulls out a jug, like one of those 3X jugs. Holds the ring of it with her pinky and just kind of like tips it up over her face and starts chugging.
Right back to it, huh?
It had been a bit.
Is that a necessity for you? You don't seem to enjoy it all that much.
Not necessity, but it's one of my domains. It's good to stay in touch. She actually kind of gives like a double take at you. Look like you put on a few pounds of meat.
Thanks for noticing.
I'm just saying that coat barely fits you anymore.
Mm-hmm. When we get back, I'm gonna have to get it tailored or something.
Where's Tom?
Upstairs.
He's up talking with the Winter Queen.
An archfey this far? Lord, I don't even want to know. She just kind of shakes her head.
Apparently, from what I've understood from the satyrs, apparently she thought that the magical signature of the bar was her daughter.
Always drama with those fae.
Always?
everything to them. Everything. And of course, Tom likes to interject when he can because he loves a story. What about you guys? You obviously finished your deal out in Silver Rock. What's brings you out this way?
Oh, God, the last time we talked was Silver Rock. Christ. God, it feels like a century ago.
Yep,
Before
just
that.
before.
Emberglade.
Mm-hmm. We met the infamous Wutherstumper.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's hard to quantify.
Believe it was Wumple Stump.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you, there, Wolfgang. I don't really remember his name, but I love him.
Clearly.
We ran across something that even has the old man spooked.
Something that scares Tom. Now this I gotta hear. She leans in.
I'll sort of pull back my coat a little bit to reveal the void mail that I'm now wearing.
Deer opens his hand, he waves it, and he shows her an image of the Mind Flayer.
What the hell is that thing?
Something from another plane of existence. We pushed back an invasion force not too far away. They stole a sigil stone from a pixie village. They were planning on using it to open the gateway to bring more of them through, but we managed to put a stop to it. Apparently, it's got Tom spooked.
I don't think I've ever seen him spooked. So that piques my interest.
Nara's burrito rummages a lot, and she pulls out 2 handfuls of teeth from the flap sheets. And she just, like, smiles.
There were flap sheets and we killed them.
I don't know what those are either.
I don't either. But I have their teeth and a brain from one of them too, somewhere in here.
She kind of cocks her head aside. To each their own. Keeps drinking her moonshine.
Christ, she's drinking straight moonshine.
As far as you're aware.
Brave.
It's just
woman.
it's just an unmarked jug that smells
That would-
powerful.
Hurt so much. So much.
She's a god and she's trying to get drunk.
Fair enough.
Lush is a god?
Goddess of revelry and yeah, she's basically the goddess of mirth and revelry and procreation.
And firewater, apparently.
Yes, revelry.
Mirth.
She's been through a lot.
Fair enough.
Denier stares at the bar for a second. Just after we left, Emberglade, it reached out to me, Lush. The tree. In my dreams. Not a manifestation, not an avatar. It actually reached out to me.
It's growing stronger.
It is.
Tom said something weird to me before we left sometime. He said we were getting close to everything he knew. I don't know what that means.
The old man's a weird one, but there's a lot more about him. Like, when I mess with dreams, specifically dreams, anybody that I make a copy of, they have no idea that it's actually them. Like, I can make a copy of anybody. But anytime that I make a copy of Tom, it's always him. Like, he's always aware of it. Like, I conjured up the weasel one time to try to help Abigail, one of, the girl that used to stay here.
Mm-hmm.
And you were here, and Tom was here, but you have no memory of it, but Tom specifically does.
There are many things he keeps to himself. Even things he won't tell me. His own sister.
Wait. You're whose sister?
Tom. I mean, I guess I have a lot of brothers.
All of the gods and goddesses are related.
Daenerys motions over towards Lush. Solomon's sister.
You
Yeah,
guys
him
are
too.
Oh, gosh. I could see it.
He was always a bit of a handful growing up. We were born around the same time.
Do you have any good embarrassing stories?
When we were figuring out what our abilities were, what exactly it was that we were put here to do, he had a very hard time figuring that out. Me? Everywhere I went was a party. And him, whenever he'd show up, the party stopped. He never knew how to interact with people. He always wanted their attention, their love, their adoration, but he could never quite get it the same way I could. I mean, I'm the center of every party. Or I was. He was always good at healing people, though. He was a good kid.
Healing?
Mm-hmm.
I does suppose that makes sense.
I remember he healed a boy's pet once, brought it back all the way from the dead, something that none of us can do.
What do you mean, all the way from the dead?
This boy's dog, it died during a hunting accident. A loose arrow. It was gone. Soul, everything. No sign. But he brought it back.
How do you do that?
Something only he can do, reaching across the veil.
Makes
He can't-
sense.
He can't go all the way across, but he can conjure and pull and he can bring back those that were gone. I think he found his calling after that because he wanted to go make people happy. Reunite them with the ones they lost. It wasn't too long after that he changed, though. I don't know exactly what happened.
Did something happen?
She's like kind of drinking when you say that. I mean, I can only assume. He was never really the same the next time I met him. He had all these grand designs, and then there was that war of his where he and Bahamut's kids just... It was a mess.
And he didn't talk about anything happening, or...
Can't exactly say we had a lot of one-on-one time after that. Regardless, it changed him.
And you haven't really spoken much since.
He stopped by the bar a few times, but... Well, we're both very different people after the cataclysm.
Hmm.
When it comes to who you are and what you were you at any time, like mortal, or were you just immediately born into it? Like, were you always what you are, or did you become what you are?
We all become what we are. As for how I was born... I mean, she kind of like flexes her arm. I've kind of always been like this.
That's what she's going.
Nara side eyes.
Good bicep there, Lush.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm just thinking about it too hard. Did you have to go through a process in order to become what you are, or did it just happen naturally? I'm rather curious about this.
Father created me the way I am. Created me in order to give the mortals joy, experiences, things to talk about. With her.
I know it doesn't mean a whole lot, but I know that you've kind of moved away from that part of your life, but at the very least, every time I see you, I have a smile on my face.
Good to know some of the old magic's still there, then. She finishes polishing off that jug of booze.
Aspen just sips his.
Yikes.
Alright. I should start taking inventory and see what needs cleaning around here.
Don't you have, like, the weird spirits that float around to do that? I would have figured you and Tom would have taken care of the more, fun aspects of the job, not the meticulous.
Yeah, but they don't do anything unless they're ordered, and Tom isn't exactly a good eye for detail when it comes to this place.
He's really good. He's a good showman now. Do you block out Welcome to the Wandering Weasel, or does it get louder each time you hear it?
You never get used to it. She just kind of shakes her head.
That's kind of
And-
beautiful, I guess.
Yeah, Pip is currently cleaning up the bar back and resorting bottles and things. You never told me why you were out here.
I'm looking
Well-
forward to this.
Mm-hmm.
Figured your paths would cross at some point.
And we're also tracking down a couple of serial killers.
Always an adventure with you. No wonder Tom
Wait,
likes
what
you.
did I do?
Not you.
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
We don't need to track you down.
Oh, right.
We found you. You're right here. Mission accomplished.
Cozy's more into the burrito.
Once again, out of nowhere, the room just gets icy fucking cold.
Right as
Yeah,
Wolfgang
look-
was about to take a drink, just boom.
Yeah. It freezes in your glass, and everybody once again must make a Constitution saving throw.
Fuck! It just a brick hits Wolfgang in the face.
Oh my god. Constitution saving throw, you said?
Yes.
5!
25.
A Constitution.
Here I
saving
go.
The burrito is highly
11.
effective.
17.
Everybody except Nara
I am peak comf, y'all.
takes 20 point of cold damage. Nara, you take half.
There goes my temporary hit points.
Yep.
Mine too.
Yeah, Lush, who just kind of set down the bottle. Jesus. And Pip, poor Pip,
Oh no.
was holding a couple of bottles, and they are now frozen in his grip as he turns into a Pipsicle.
No!
Baby.
Aswin jumps over the counter.
Is he actually like frozen? To the
He
degree where
is-
we should be worried.
He is very, very cold. He does not look like he is. In D&D damage terms, it does not look like he is dropped to 0. But he
Okay,
is very,
okay.
he is very
Hey,
cold,
Nick,
and
has he been Acme frozen?
for the sake of fan artists, yes.
Okay.
You hear that crackling of like foot stepping against light, like ice kind of crunching underfoot sound as Tom and the Glycinda, the Lady of Winter, walk down the stairs. Crunch, crunch, crunch. You hear them conversing, and she looks about the room as Tom comes around the corner. Vaskus Vitna. Ah! Pip! Lush, welcome back! The lady once again glances between you, her eyes lingering longer on both Denier and Wolfgang. Wolfgang, she looks you in the eye. Vis mis fulls now solvlust. Vis skinter. As she walks to exit the bar.
And as usual, Denier is going to at least attempt to be respectful.
I am gonna grab him by the shoulder and sit him down if he even tries to stand up.
He wasn't going to stand up this time, just more of a respectful seated bow.
Nara was swiveling as she moved through the room.
I have 21 strength and you are a wizard.
She leaves the bar, and the temperature slowly starts to re-regulate.
What'd she say about me?
Tom's just like kind of like waving as the door closes. She said, "Watch yourself, Sunblood."
She threatening me?
Nara immediately pops out her face out of the burrito.
Yeah, watch yourself, Sunblood.
Tom just says, "She seems to have that air about her, though she has no designs against you herself."
Whoopee.
Whoopee? What? Whoopee? Why would you say that?
Because I'm happy that there are no designs made against me.
Oh.
Sunblood.
Is it really the sun, though? Whatever.
Tom walks around behind the counter as Pip is like all that Acme ice is slowly dripping off of him. "Pip, my boy, welcome back."
Just slap him on the back and he shatters.
Oh my god.
Crumbles to pieces and reforms like the T800, T1000.
Ugh.
Meh, 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 meh.
Oh yeah, but Pip, like shivering, begins to set the bottles down that he was holding.
God, I love him.
Good to have you back. You let the place fall to shit. Well, I don't have your eye. As Lush begins ordering around some of the servants to clean various areas, spot checking things, fix up broken areas where Tom inevitably let bar fights happen.
Oh my god.
So, what was that all about?
Oh, she just wanted to catch up and ask if I'd seen her daughter, etc., etc.
Who's her daughter?
Oh, what was the little one's name? Wither. Yes.
Wither.
She have
Yes.
a calling card like that cold crap?
Autumn.
Okay. Makes sense. Wait, didn't I see some trees that were all fall looking at the base of the mountain?
You, in fact, did.
So she's probably over there, right?
Perhaps. I wouldn't know. I don't really keep tabs on the goings-on around here. I'm more of a wanderer and an observer.
I'm sure that makes Lush sad.
She likes the adventure as well, don't you, Lush? Don't bring me into this. Now you go fix that. She doesn't like to admit it. Kind of whispers towards you. But, as a favor to you and the pixie folk, who I haven't seen in some time, I will go check on their stone.
Oh, Tom, look, they gave me a stick.
She pulls out the
Fascinating.
pixie stick.
Fascinating! Which, by the way, as the rules of that thing, you have to come up with a command phrase that makes it fly.
Oh.
So, ponder on that.
Okay.
What a lovely evening. So many unexpected guests.
Ain't that the truth?
So, Tom, color me curious. Is there something specific that we have to do to get from the overgrowth into the Feywild, or do we just wander through the mists?
You're going to have to find your way to the portal.
And
Portal.
where is this portal? Or does it move?
I've never actually visited myself. Figured I wouldn't be welcome. But, from what I understand, what was his name? Goes through his guest book. Ah, yes. The one called Grapthar mentioned that it was inside the mountain.
Have you seen him lately?
Lately? No. He's usually wandering these parts, though, usually towards the mountain, always trying to find his way back. Oh,
We're actually looking for him as well.
well, you'll probably find him wandering around the base of the mountain. The way he says it, finding your way onto the mountain is the most difficult part through the mists.
Because the mists are full of, what is it, will-o-wisps, right?
All sorts of things that might try to make you lose your way. It's not exactly a place that wants to be entered.
Nara's like flicking crumbs off the bar.
At which point, when Lush notices you, she
So-
like grabs the nearest servant, basically says, "Clean that shit up."
So
You grab a broom.
does that mean that we're gonna have to go again?
Well, yeah, Nara. We're planning on getting out of here as soon as we're all rested up.
Was wanted to ask, are we sleeping here tonight?
I wouldn't mind it.
I'm not gonna lie, I want to take a dip in the galaxy pool.
That place is the best.
This place is a trip, bruh.
Isn't it though?
It is. All right,
How
Tom,
long
I'll
has
take
it
your
been?
finest. Oh,
How long has it been since we departed from Plum Boy's village?
It's been probably about like 2 or 3 hours now. The effect of the feast is still good for another 20 hours, you'd say.
Excellent.
And yeah.
Well, we could stay here the night.
I would prefer that.
I think we wouldn't mind a refresh of some of my protective magics. The presence of the Winter Queen seems to have diminished those.
Yes, she is quite chilling.
Just sort of narrows his eyes.
Oh, yes, that was a pun.
So are we sleeping in here?
You bet your sweet cheeks I am. Tom, your finest room, and I would like the galaxy bath.
The bath is open to all those who stay here. And as you
ghost.
have a... And there he
the
goes.
blades all fall on the ground.
Is that a
Just
tip
bend
book?
over and start picking him up. Ding.
And Nara asks
Which room was that?
to Tom after Asmo goes upstairs.
He chuckles, and Lush actually lets you know what room it is.
Nara drops off the blanket and then goes in there to work on reading that book.
Which book was this again?
The Spiritual Reliquaries.
Ah, yes, the really dry book. Go ahead and give
The
me
really
another...
dry book.
Go ahead and give me another intelligence check.
It hurts my heart because it's not going to go well, but that's okay. It's a 3.
Here's the thing. It obviously the higher the better, but what you were currently building toward, you're currently building towards learning it. I have a threshold for you to pass. You're getting closer, but every single time you have rolled to read this book has been awful. So it's going to take a while.
Yep. And will I be able to do multiple because it's over time, or is it just like this is the whole evening that I'm not sleeping?
This is the evening up until you're sleeping. You are studying.
Okay.
You're getting closer though. You're slowly beginning to parse through what this guy says. The biggest problem for you right now with this book is just willing yourself to continue reading it. Just the way this motherfucker wrote this book is the most unentertaining, driest read of your life. You can barely, and you're like, you've had to go back chapters when he references something that you hadn't, that hadn't been brought up in 50 pages. So you have to scroll back to figure out, okay, what was that again? It's that. And then you go back forward and keep, he brings things up and drops them almost seemingly at random.
Okay.
It's a book written by a madman.
Awesome.
So that sounds like Stephen King's It.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, if the book It had been if Stephen King wrote a book entirely on ecstasy.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Cool.
Well, I
Great.
wrote a couple books on a different substance, but that's fair.
Yeah. But
Puts pen to
but that
paper,
substance
and here we go.
but that substance focuses you. This one does not.
Did it though? Did it really?
By properties. Anyway.
The books got made. That's what
they
we can
did.
say.
More books than I've written. So, Asmo goes and finds himself, just kind of, soaks in the pool. You heal yourself back up. After a while, all the frostbite, the scales that you lost due to the shock cold, you heal right back up.
As was just floating on top of the water with his arms all spread out.
Wolfgang, Denier, anything you guys are going to do before slumber?
probably finish off my nightcap. I'll
once it rethaws.
I'll use prestidigitation to expedite that process. And I will see if I can catch up on the Jester's Journal.
All right. Gonna have to give me a second here to find my entries. Denier, what are you up to?
Denier is going to spend a while scribing scrolls into his spell book, and once he gets ready for bed, he is going to cast Dream.
All right.
For Dream will be to enter his own, to enter his own mind into like a pseudo space where he can explore and he can study and he can, do his own thing. Like almost like a loading room in the Matrix, so to say.
Good stuff.
All right. Holy shit! Something happened to my Jester's Journal file.
Oh shit!
Shit. I'm sorry. I'm actually gonna have to go back and rewrite a bunch of these now because I don't have things to put into the journals.
It's okay if I jump out to the bathroom real fast here.
Yeah, we're gonna take a break here in just a sec.
Okay.
Yeah, you can jump out because we'll go ahead and do Denier's Dream, and Wolfgang, if there's anything else you wanted to do for the night, I can add the journal entry later. But this is
excellent.
Annoying to me.
I guess you wouldn't have a reference for it. Never mind.
Reference for what?
I was just going to ask if there was any pertinent information that I could glean off of the entries that you would know off the top of your head without actually having to read the entries.
The next section that you would have read through entails all up until your encounter at Steamy Springs. There is one bit of pertinent information that you'd receive that I will gladly post later.
Okay.
All of these people that were using these fragments of the Bleeding God's gem, he saw them as a nuisance. Like, he did not see them as allies at all. But there was another voice that would sometimes reach out to him. One that tried to compel him to work with the others. But he refused. To the point that he started hunting them down himself. Which is where you found that one guy at the top of Steamy Springs.
Okay. Interesting. Well,
yeah, I'll have to rewrite out that entry. I was proud of it. Also, kind of pertinent information.
Yeah. Interesting. Well then, armed with fresh knowledge, Wolfgang will be sad until he goes to bed.
Just sits there frowning. I
miss my wife.
And Denier, you're casting Dream.
Yes, if I am successful, I do have a plan.
All right. Who are you casting it on?
I suppose it would be myself. Like, my goal is to try to enter my own dream space, or enter the plane of dreams as a general, to acquire like a creative open space that is my own to control, if that makes sense.
It is easy enough for you to kind of enter your own headspace. This is kind of what you were doing when you were learning the spell. So being trapped in your own conscience is very easy for you at this point.
Okay. Then when Denier enters the place, he initially walks through a doorway. As he walks through the doorway, he finds himself at the base of a short staircase. The floor, dark oaky wood with black brick along the outer walls. There are multiple runes carved into the walls, and opposite a large fireplace would sit a long table piled high with various books, papers, and quills, and what seems to be simple comfort foods. The papers would look to have strange sketches of various rooms. Globules of bright yellow light would sit in the corners of the room, illuminating the wall, as well as a high, dark iron chandelier hanging over the table. Denier would wander over to the table, and he would sit down, picking up a cup of tea. He would sip on it for a moment, and he would spend the rest of the evening continuing to work on the spell that I had been working on previously, using the dream space and my more advanced control of dreams to attempt to further its development.
Give me an Arcana check first.
Okie doke. 19.
All right. Your ability to work within your own dreamscape allows you to work within dream time.
Mm-hmm.
So, in an essence, your brain is processing much quicker in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, you are able to work much longer and on this than you would if you were awake.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and give me an intelligence check as you continue to work on your spell.
That's an 11.
All right. Throughout the night, as you dream, you work on this spell. As the glow of the fireplace and the chandelier illuminates your mind palace. And with that, we will take a quick break. Thanks for rolling with us today, guys. And big thanks to today's sponsor, Into the AM. They got a sick line of comfortable clothes with awesome style. Check the links in the description or the pinned comments to get 10% off your order and help support this channel in the process. Thanks again. Now back to the show. All right, you guys have a good night's rest. Denier, you kind of work through the night in your mind palace. And awaken, you have a lovely wandering weasel's breakfast. The patrons that were there the night before have all left. It is just you guys here now. And you are free to discuss how you wish to move on with your day.
Everybody also gets 9 temporary hit points.
Oh, thank God. I do love that ability, dude. It's great.
What happened to didn't we get a bunch of extra ones from before for some?
You got max health.
You still have 12 hours worth of that.
Do I have more because of the tub?
Just to not confuse it, I'm going to say you all have the same pool.
Okay.
Woo!
Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
That was the best sleep I've ever goddamn had.
A nice comfy bed in the middle of the woods. Always nice to find. Oops.
Nara is quietly eating soup.
It's nice and
Quietly.
beefy.
It is quiet for her.
I am being quiet.
So,
While Denier's munching into breakfast, I think our best call would be probably to head towards the mountains.
That seems to be the case. What route should we take, though?
We could walk there.
Lush is just kind of walking around. I recommend the one through the woods. Oh, wait.
were you harassed on your way back here?
She pulls out one of the weasel keys. Hardly.
Okay, so the general consensus is we need to go find Arcanos, correct?
Yep.
General consensus is we need to find this Grabthar so we can find Arcanos.
Which way is he?
That's what we're trying to garner.
Ah, God.
Apparently, he's supposed to be somewhere near the mountain, the base of the mountain, trying to find a way in.
That's what Tom said. If I were a man, desperately trying to find a god, which we are,
If you were a man.
what way would I go about doing it? Just sort of poking his forehead right now.
Poke, poke.
Knowing our luck, we're just going to find him wandering around, probably going to be stuck in a mud hole or something.
I don't suppose you have any tracking spells in that way.
I mean, if I knew him, I could send him a message, but I'm trying to figure out. He holds up the divination book. I'm slowly working on being able to scribe, but I'm not there yet.
This makes things a bit complicated. Let's see. If there's areas where the leaves are fallen around the mountain, should we go towards that or away from it?
Who are you asking?
Everyone.
Uh,
I'm getting a group consensus, but I say it out loud in case anybody wants to chime in on that.
Oh, I feel like the Arcanos plot. Like I just want to help you guys out. So I'm like,
I'm good to go wherever we need to go. I feel like everything's going the right direction.
Tom is currently in the back taking inventory. Lush basically says, "Look, anywhere you go here is going to have something going on. If Tom says that old man's wandering around the foot of the mountains somewhere or trying to find the mountains, heading towards them is probably your best bet."
I'd just rather not get lost on the way there, or lost when we get there.
We could burn down the forest on the way to the mountain, and then
That
we
would
won't
be
lose
a
our
bad
path.
idea.
I don't think we can, actually. I think that's not physically possible.
No?
No.
Fire generally does it.
Yeah, but this
Yeah,
forest
but-
going by Fleetfoot, you don't want to make him angry.
Also, we've
go
seen
back.
what the Winter Queen. We've seen what the Winter Queen can do to flames. Just her mere presence snuffs out flames just from the sheer amount of cold she exudes. So I don't think fires in her domain are going to last very long if they can get started at all.
Fine.
Moreover,
the Fae don't exactly take kindly to those that burn their domains.
But
You want negative attention, that's your best way of getting it.
yeah, if you start any fires, like, don't take it personally if we disassociate with you.
Nara's only like half paying attention as she says these things, as she's like picking up things in the soup and then dropping them, and then picking them up and dropping them.
It's a nice, like, beefy, porky lentil soup.
Even if we're wandering into the Autumn Court's domain, I don't imagine that they'll be worse than the winter, so to say. Summer might be preferable, from what I understand, but I don't think that autumn would be too bad to wander through.
Asmo is just gesturing to himself.
My blood is cold. So the winter sucks for me.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Which means you might want to put on your jacket before we head out the door if you brought it with you.
Oh, that
We
and
were-
my...
That and Asmo actually has ice-resistant boots he's never put on before.
Hey.
We were. Well, we've already learned that doesn't matter.
Not in the direct presence of the Fae of the Winter Court.
I'm
but-
gonna
enough.
assume that there's other ice-based things around here it might work against, so...
Possibly. So, we were already planning on avoiding the Winter Queen's domain anyway.
Yep.
Especially after that little one-on-one we had last night. Not sure what that shit was about.
I think I get the gist of it.
A lot of people don't like me just because of what I am. Cool.
Oh, God, I'm staying here. You guys can go.
Sunblood,
Fast
so
forward 10 to get up.
upset. So we're just gonna walk in the woods
Yeah.
towards the mountain
Yeah.
and try and find Grabthar, and then we're gonna talk to Daenerys' god guy, right?
God guy is
That's
a pretty
the-
good, apt way of putting it.
That's the plan.
So
Yeah, that's
then she's like kicking her feet. So then we just start walking, right?
That's
Sounds
seeming
like
more and more
you
like the
can't
plan.
really have a plan here since all the conventional methods don't seem to work.
She's like snapping her fingers and making little sparks.
Are you bored or something?
We haven't killed anything in a long time.
We
Oh,
killed
I'm
things
so
yesterday.
sorry,
A
Princess.
day and a half.
It's been forever. And I don't even get to hunt my own breakfast. This
Well,
is very
think-
good, though.
We'll
Think of
see
it
if
like
we can
this.
get you a fly on the way there.
You're killing time right now, Nara.
But it doesn't bleed.
Pip actually
Time does
walks.
bleed, actually, every day.
Pip walks out of the kitchen. He has this like kind of like floppy chef's hat on, and he walks to the bar and sets down this tray of cooked bread.
Ooh.
Oh, he says it's for the trails.
Appreciate it, Pip.
You are granted 2 days worth of rations from Pip.
Ooh.
Hey! Brings me up to 7.
I'm calling them pip rations.
Brings me up to 20.
I'm
Daenerys
making
stocked.
their own.
Osmo stock, too. Oh, excellent. Thank you very much.
Pip bread. And I have a self-refilling water skin, so that is good on that front.
Mhm.
Don't drink the water or eat the food here. If fairy tales have told me anything, don't eat the
Alright.
food.
We've already done that twice.
Shit!
You've actually
Double
died.
shit.
You've actually died 5 times. Anyway, this whole thing has been a dream.
Ha ha. Fuck.
All right. Any pressing business you have at the Weasel before?
Oh, Lush.
Hmm?
Is there one of these fun liquids that makes you warm when you're around the cold lady?
Well, if there were such a fermented fruit, we don't have it in stock. Not impossible, but it would have to be something grown in the Court of Summer's domain.
Okay. I just don't like being that cold. I don't mind the cold, but that was a lot.
Considering where you came from, it doesn't shock me too much.
Osmo's putting on his magic boots.
Do you have to attune to those?
I have no idea.
Those specific boots now.
Alright, let's head out then.
Alright. Pip gives Asmo another hug goodbye. Daenerys, Wolfgang, he also hugs you. Slightly less hard, but he cares about you as well.
I see how it is.
And Nara, he gives you a wave and just kind of like stands there, not quite knowing, like, he's still relatively new to you and is not quite sure how to approach you.
How many? He has like bright red hair, right?
Yes, he is a massive ginge.
She will walk up and like from both sides of his head, like floof his hair upward and like a grand gesture with her arms above her head, and then like smile at him and then wave and leave.
Finally, the transformation to Beaker is complete. As his hair stands on end.
All he needs is a lab coat, and he'll be all powerful.
Yep.
Excellent.
Daenerys walks outside, and he's going to
Alright.
start ritual casting.
What are you ritual casting? As you walk outside, the forest that was there before seems to have been almost entirely replaced. This oak tree that you're walking out of is now a massive northern Douglas fir pine tree. And you are walking into a snowstorm.
Oh, fuck.
I am casting 2 spells. The first spell is I'm ritual casting Tinser's Floating Disc.
Okay. Go ahead and click that spell and let us know what that does.
All right. Let me see. Where is it? I think it's first level. There we go. It basically makes a circular flat plate for me just to put stuff on.
Okay.
And I will cast. Then I will ritual cast Phantom Steed, and I will make a giant winter wolf horse hybrid. And I will mount the horse, look at everybody. All right, get on the disc.
The disc is 3 feet in diameter. So that's going to be hard.
Well, I imagine that they can all sit on like an edge and have their feet hanging off of it. Since it hangs up in the air for a bit.
Holds up to 500 pounds. Wolfgang at his current build is probably about 230 of that.
Guy's so beefy.
Asmo is probably probably around 180 to 200 pounds. And Nara's pretty close to 100 pounds as well. So you're over that limit.
How many people can fit on a Phantom Steed?
One.
One second. I'll just step away from the mic for a second. My
Yeah.
main monitor just shut down for no reason.
That's fine.
So I need to
Oh,
So you're running into a weight limit problem here as well.
Okay, then I will just straight up use a spell slot to summon a mount for Wolfgang.
Okay, two people could probably uncomfortably sit back to back on that plate.
Okay. Then Asmo and Nara get to sit next to each other on the plate, and Wolfgang and Daenerys will have mounts.
Okay. All right. How fast are these mounts again?
They are 100 feet.
100 feet per round. All right. You guys begin moving off. Taka, I noticed, logged out of Roll20 again for some reason.
No.
But I do need both of you to make an acrobatics check to stay on this plate as it starts moving at a quick speed.
Oh God. Okay.
Before we set out as
12.
well, I am going to just to kill time. I'll go ahead and say that I am equipping my goggles of seeing invisibility, and I am turning those on, and I am also activating my angelic sight to cast detect magic,
All right.
just so we can have our bases covered on that front.
I guess to save time, I will go ahead and roll for Taka.
I am here. Actually, just get that back down. Perfect timing.
Yeah, but you logged out of Roll20 again, so
What?
I don't see
God
your
damn
card.
this fucking pro. Okay, one second.
Damn, I'm pretty sure you had to close the window for that to happen.
I know. I was
so.
freaking out. And I was trying to click shit, so I think I clicked out of it. So here, I'm back up
It's
again.
been that way for a bit, but I'm gonna give you that acrobatics check.
Okay, thank you very much, Nick.
All right. Asmo rolled a 27.
Yeah.
Nara, however, sitting on the back of the disc, trying to hold on, just face plants in the snow as the steeds take off.
What? Wait, oh.
Oh shit, Nara! Asshole reaches out his hand.
The disc is just kind of like pulling along, but you're able to alert Denier that Nara has fallen off of the disc. This is still a very precarious seating situation. You have about a foot. You have a foot and a half each of space. That is like half of your ass sitting on this disc.
Asmo, hop. Can Asmo hop off safely?
Yeah, once Denier slows down.
Denier, slow down! We lost one of us!
Denier stops.
Thank you. Okay, Asmo tries to get off right when he stops. Does Asmo just keep rolling? Ah!
It slows down at pace with Denier, and you're able to hop off safely.
Asmo just runs after her. Hey! Asmo helps her up.
That is not going to work. What if...
Unfortunately, it's not a good solution to your issue.
You are larger than I. What if I sat in your lap and you focus on keeping us on the disc?
Sure, it's getting weird, Denier.
Asmo just goes,
sure, we can do that.
This is getting a little weird.
You're ruining the bit.
Sure. I guess we can do that.
Yes,
It's not weird. There is a shortage of space and I need a place to sit.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Can't argue with that logic. It's just... Never mind.
Little
All
did
right.
they know that Denier was writing Nora Asmo fanfiction the entire time. And
Now I have clicked out of Roll20.
Oh.
Hey, see? But I don't blame you for trying to run away from it, though. It's kind of a really rough relationship you have with Roll20.
All right, I do still need both of you to make acrobatics checks again to stay on the disc, though.
Oh, you want us to say it again? Okay.
You're moving at a high speed, and you have no place to hold. It is a flat disc.
Okay, well, then let's do
If they fall again, I'm just going to ritual cast Phantom Steeds for them both.
God bless.
All right,
17.
19.
All right, this time with Nara sitting on Asmo's lap and Asmo like clutching the bottom of the disc, you guys are able to maintain as you dart into the woods on your wolf horses.
There it is, the difference maker.
Mm-hmm. There it is. That's what changed it.
So, I am going to be taking a look out. You said it is a blizzard, right? Or are we experiencing any?
It's not quite a full-blown blizzard yet. It is a snowstorm though, so your visibility is limited, but not incredibly. Like you can see probably about maybe about 20 or 30 yards ahead of you just fine.
Okay.
With detect magic and see invisibility on, you get kind of this like predator vision. So
I would, Lenny, I would say that after the duration for floating disc ends, Denier would just straight up conjure them Phantom Steeds, seeing as how that's going.
Okay, you guys continue onward. Eventually, the disc does fade, and Nara and Asmo make me acrobatics checks. Actually, no. First, Denier, make me an intelligence check.
Oh. Okay.
Intelligence. That's no.
This is okay. So this leads to this leads to Nara. Basically, you lose track of your timing. The disc disappears as you are booking it through the woods on this horse, and all of a sudden, Asmo, the thing you were sitting on no longer exists, and both you and Nara begin tumbling down to the snow. I need both of you to make acrobatics checks.
Oh my god.
Asmo's dick is going to get pulverized.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh god!
Wasn't that one?
Natural.
So,
12.
Asmo,
12.
you try to brace yourself on the ground. Nara has just like not been paying attention, just kind of like looking out, and
She's been totally
you begin falling. She just kind of thinks you're going down a hill or a decline. No, she just slams on top of you as you land down on the ground.
Literally a whole Asmo-shaped hole in the snow, please. Just
yeah, pin beneath Nara, who as you are breaking her fall, Asmo, you take 7 points of damage. Nara, you take 3.
damn.
As traveling at 100 feet per round, maybe even more if you were booking it through the snow, you just kind of Wolfgang, make me Wolfgang and Denier make me perception checks.
Okay.
Not 20.
Oh my
Hey.
god.
Sometimes
There
I
you
really
go.
do.
So Denier, as you
duality
were
of
riding,
man.
you were thinking, man, maybe like you were thinking about like conjuring your fixing your spells up and stuff, and a rogue thought crosses your mind. Did I forget about something? And then behind you, you hear, ah! Oh shit! So you do notice that they fell.
Daenerys signaling out to Wolfgang, and he's coming back around.
Ah, jeez.
You come back around to the to Nara sitting on a like pile of snow where Asmo is buried.
Okay, I have to admit, not my greatest idea. Where's Asmo?
You see a hand come up out of the shaky snow underneath Nara, the thumbs up.
Oh, jeez.
He is a very good boyfriend. He broke the fall.
No.
That's what they're there for.
I like that as an episode title, Death by Snow.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's so good. I'm upset.
Thank you, Shay.
Damn. I fucking love the Planet of the Large Woman episode, though. It's my favorite one.
All right, get up. I pluck Asmo out of the snow.
I will go ahead
Nara
and
tries to help,
ritual
even though
cast,
she's weak.
and they both get Phantom Steeds as well.
All right, and you guys carry on into the woods. Now with 4 times the wolf horse. Everybody go ahead and make me a perception check as you're reaching probably about hour point 4 or 5 into your journey.
Okay.
Wow, what is it with me? Heaven or hell?
Oh,
Now,
no.
Heaven or hell, duel or die.
25.
Asmo got a 24.
And I-
Denier is still distracted.
And my dice are still in the air. I got an
Landing.
11.
11. Asmo and Nara. Asmo, as you're like kind of like, you know, keeping your eye about, sometimes tasting the air. You taste what's like smells like, because that's how you smell. Old campfire, like kind of like burnt out fire. Like that very distinct campfire smell. And Nara, you smell it as well. Not only do you smell it, but you can you actually see through the tree line a what looks to be an old weathered camp set up. And the snow is starting to like really come down now. Like you're actually in blizzard territory. To the point that you might actually want to find a bit of shelter.
Nara points over at the campsite.
Look, there's an old campsite over there. Looks like a fire was burning not too long ago too, or smells like it rather. Should we camp?
Well, I wonder who is out here camping.
How long can we tell at all how long they've been there for?
Not from this distance.
Okay.
Let's go over and look.
No, hold on.
Worst case scenario, we have to kill
Two of us.
something.
Let's dismount and 2 of us go up on foot. Come on, let's play this smart.
I'll go with you.
Yes, let's go do it then. Be right back, guys.
Okay.
Asmo,
If
Nara,
I scream out in pain, that means come save us.
You sure you don't want a safe word?
No, scream in pain, ought to do it.
Asmo, Nara, as you dismount your
Stealth.
wolf horses, go ahead and give me stealth checks.
Oh no.
13.
20, nat 20, got 22.
Ah, yeah!
All
I'm
right.
so sneaky right now.
Asmo, unfortunately, your black scales tend to like bleed out. Like it's very kind of like hard for you to stealth, but you're doing it as best you can. The terrain, like you're walking through maybe about like a foot of snow. Like when you step into the fresh powder beneath your feet, it goes up to your calf. So you're kind of trunching through. Nara, who is much more accustomed to sneaking through this kind of weather and this kind of terrain, almost seems to disappear behind a rogue breeze of flurries that trickle by. But you guys start to make your way up towards the camp that you noticed.
Anything distinct about the camp, or is it just a fire that's approaching it?
The fire looks like it's been burned out. Maybe hard to tell for how long.
Because it burning out and it being stamped out is two different things. So I'm curious if we can get close enough to tell what happened to that fire. Now, is there any smoke still coming from it?
There are tiny. There looks like
Wisps,
tiny little wisps appear to be coming out. Like this fire.
Within an hour, it went out.
Within an hour or so, looks like it's been dying for some time. Like it's down to like whatever embers are left. And
what is around the fire?
as you begin to make your approach, looking through this blizzard, there appear to be four very rudimentary tents set up. One with a bit more fortification, seems to be made out of leather. The rest of them are kind of built out of canvas. The closer you get to the camp, you notice that there's a empty cart at the camp as well as what appear to be some boxes of supplies and a roll of bedding or leather set up by the boxes that are between the furthest tent from you and the fire.
Okay, this is it. Now we're in a... What's visibility looking like right now?
You can see, like, just barely at your best glancing, like, while you're, like, trying to peer through this blizzard, maybe about 15 to 20 feet ahead of you.
Shit, that's not good.
Like, it was very hard for you to even notice this camp after you smelled what you smelled.
Do I see any movement? Do I hear any noise?
Both of you can go ahead and give me perception checks.
Okay. 24.
19.
Nothing in the camp itself seems to pull your attention. Like, it does not look like it is currently occupied unless whoever is there are inside the tents.
Any footprints anywhere?
Yes, actually. As you are approaching, you do notice, as you're getting, like, closer in, there are some divots in the grounds that indicate that something with very small footfalls. And you notice this, Nara. Asma, you do not notice the footfalls because they are nearly imperceptible to your eye at the moment. These little divots in the snow, which is laid over them, seem to trail off towards the east, kind of back the way you came a little bit, and then further on.
Okay.
Something just went where we came from here.
Did we miss them?
Asma whispers,
Did we miss them?
Must have. I don't...
There's nothing else that would indicate, like, the small footprints, are they human looking or?
Again, these are just divots in the snow. Like, they have been laid over with fresh powder, so it's hard for you. It's very hard to tell what left these.
Now, how far apart are the steps? Is it running or walking? Walking they'd be more closely connected, whereas in running would have longer strides.
That would also depend on the race that left them as well. But go ahead and give me a survival. Go ahead and give me a survival check, both of you.
21.
21 for Nara.
Where are the survival? Oh, it's Marvel bottom.
Yeah.
9.
Alphabetical. Nara, the gate between these steps looks like it was left by a small creature. And seemed to be walking fairly casually.
They weren't worried when they left. They are not very big. They must have left of their own accord. But there are several tents here, and I only see the one set of tracks.
Okay. above game, out of character. I don't know what to do in this scenario. I've actually guts.
Your options are approach the camp and investigate it while you're trying to find shelter from this blizzard, or get back on your horse.
Nara's gonna stealth in there.
Oh, Nara's already got a perfect stealth, so Asmo's like, no. Oh, Asmo can't say anything now.
As after Nara tells you about the creature that left them, Nara's gone as you turn to talk to her. She Batmaned you.
Oh, that's not good. Of all people to do that, that's the worst person to do that.
All right, Nara, you make your way closer to the camp. The blizzard is really starting to kick up now. As you, even as you glance back, you can't see where you left Daenerys and Wolfgang. Wolfgang, you can still kind of make out Asmo from the distance that he is away, but Nara, not only because of her stealth check, but because, you can't even see the camp anymore from where you guys are, Daenerys and Wolfgang.
Fuck. Should we get closer so we can at least keep an eye on them?
Might be a good idea. We also might need to set up the tower fairly soon.
All right. Keep forgetting you can do that.
Yep. Working on something bigger too.
What could be more magnificent than your tower?
Oh.
Cough.
Calm down over there.
It'd have to be like a mansion or something.
All the gravitas.
My gravitas hurt.
Oh my god.
From riding the wolf horse all day.
Yep.
All right, Nara, as you enter the camp, as you suspected, it appears abandoned right now. The campfire itself is kind of just down to embers. Looks like it had been dying for some time. You find the camp, the fire is, it has 2 logs adjacent to it, for people to sit by. And there's one large tent to your north, a smaller tent to the east, another, the other 3 tents are kind of in a circular pattern around the campfire.
Well, because Asmo is looking at the campsite, Nara will pop up in the place where he did not realize she actually was and gesture him over.
Undoing your stealth?
Yes.
Okay. Nara unstealths in Asmo. You can see Nara just kind of standing by the campfire and waving.
Oh. Asmo starts crawling, skitters on over.
What'd you see?
Nothing. Looks like they left some time ago. The fire's burning out on its own, which is a bit strange. Normally you put a fire out when you leave a campfire, but
Yeah, the
no one
question
here?
is, why did they leave? Are they coming back? These are supplies. No one leaves supplies unless they have no other choice.
You say that as you look at the supplies, there's actually a letter on top of them, kind of pinned there with a framer's nail.
Nara will take it and read it.
To any who may find this, welcome to my camp. One of my many camps. I use this as a staging grounds. You are more than welcome to the amenities provided. But, if there's one rule or one request, if you take anything, make sure to leave something behind for those that might follow you.
Mm-hmm.
We all have our journeys out here. We all have what we seek. Signed, Grapthar.
Isn't this the guy?
Oh shit, that's the guy!
We should tell, Daenerys and...
Okay, you yell at them, because if I yell, they think something's wrong.
Don't they usually? Yes. Okay, I'll do it.
She'll go back a little ways and then call out to Daenerys and Wolfgang.
Hello! We're over here! It's fine.
Do you think she got
Wolfgang will briefly look over at Daenerys.
Daenerys looks over at Wolfgang.
You know, sometimes I think that we're the only 2 that are taking this seriously.
Sometimes I agree with you.
All right, let's head over there. Currently it's safe. Or we're being tricked.
I mean, She could be a fae. I mean, she could be a fae and she's just taking the guise of Nara. And they've already taken out Asmo and Nara and luring us into a trap.
Daenerys equips tinfoil hat.
I'll shout back, "Who is that for?"
Denier and blood, sunblood. Ha!
I cast Mage Armor.
Yeah, there's no way a Fae could replicate Nara's personality that perfectly. Okay, let's head over then.
Daenerys wanders over.
You guys make your way over to the campfire, or the campground. As the blizzard continues to pick up around you, it is very difficult to see very far around you. In fact, here, as you approach where Asmo and Nara have been, here's what you were looking at. This is the visibility that you have around the camp right now.
Oh.
Okay.
This was
Map.
Grabthar's campsite. There are supplies and tents, and he said that if we take anything, make sure to leave something for the next people that find it.
I
That's
see.
that's the old trapper method, right, Nick?
Yeah. Just make
Sounds
sure
right.
you have camps set up around for anybody to use. Just don't be an asshole is basically the general rule.
That's the trapper rule. Actually, that's actually one of the trapper rules. Is like you
Don't
can
be an
use
asshole.
their cabins if no one's there, but just if you take something, leave something. Like that's
Yep.
just the rule.
Which is why one of the tents looks a lot more sturdily built than the others. Like that one is had some love put into it. The other ones are in case you're traveling with a larger party.
We saw tracks heading off back the way we came, by the way.
Yeah, towards the east, by the way. So the way you came and then the way you were heading.
Heading back that direction. Can't quite tell who it is, though, but maybe it is Grabthar. Hard to say.
The tracks were
Oh.
very small, and they were covered with snow, so it was some time ago. I don't know how large Grabthar is.
You know that he's a gnome.
Oh, then it is probably Grabthar.
Now, quick question: the letter that was ripped off of that, how recent did it look? Like, how much was the snow buildup on it? Like, what did it look faded with time? Had the wind torn the edges of it?
This letter looks like it was left there. Go ahead and give me a investigation check for the letter.
Oh no,
Both of us, or
16.
Just
Actually.
Asmo. He's the one looking at it.
cool.
16.
16. Not bad. This letter looks like it was penned some time ago. Like he just kind of leaves that there for everyone. And if the letter ever goes missing, he'll probably replace it. This one's probably been there for a few weeks or months.
Well, looks like this letter's been here for a while, so either that was Grabthar who was here and he left, or it was someone else who used his camp and left. So it's really a crapshoot right now before we go to sleep. We track down that person and we make camp here.
Daenerys, as you're kind of wandering the circumference of the camp, go ahead and give me a perception check.
All right. 8. Daenerys
Yeah,
basically
there's a lot of snow out there, and the wind is just howling around you.
Daenerys basically trying to find a spot to set up the tower, if he can.
This is the only clearing in your visual spectrum, and setting up your tower would mean ruining these fine tents.
Yeah, no. If I set up the tower here, we're going to have to destroy the tents. So I think
Looks
we're
like
going to
we're utilizing the tents then. I would like to make a recommendation. How big is this tent that my arrow is pointing towards right now? The biggest one right here.
Looks like 3 people would be able to sleep comfortably in there, especially given the inclement weather. Probably best that 3 people kind of like huddle in together. You could maybe squeeze in a 4th, but it would be cramped. You wouldn't get the effects of a full night of rest if you all 4 crammed yourself in there.
Oh shit. Okay.
That being said, anybody that sleeps alone is probably also not getting the effects of a full night's rest unless you do something creative about it.
there a way we could connect a couple of these tents, like make the biggest one bigger?
A super tent, if you will.
Like, these tents are just staked into the ground, like regular old tents, correct?
Yeah, it looks like they're staked to the ground and then held up by a dowel.
Let me see.
Wolfgang, as you've kind of wandered towards the edge, give me a perception check.
Oh boy. Here I go. Here I go again on my own.
With advantage with your thingies.
That'd be a 17 then.
All right. As you're kind of like wandering towards the edge, you see a large, this large shadow kind of swoosh between that tree that you're next to and into the snow, and into the blizzard beyond.
Wolfgang sort of takes a step back and turns to his comrades. Something's here.
No, he left, dude. Aswell turns. No, he left. We just talked about that.
Something else is here.
Aswell immediately pulls out both blades.
Asmo, Nara, go ahead and make me a perception check as well, as you're now scanning the surroundings.
29.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's very perceptive.
Super.
Sometimes.
Nara, it does not take much for you to when you know you're hunted, you know you're being hunted. You also see a shadow kind of shift from around here. Asmo, you barely see the same thing, but all of you hear a ferocious series of howls echoing around you. And
How
here
many?
is where we will end today's session.
My.
Jay!
Oh boy.